with me actually here this time.
Yeah!
Dropping Logan.
Yeah, Logan gone.
Well, there's his replacement right there.
Yeah, this is his replacement. I don't know what we named him.
You just palm the boys.
I named him, but it's Steven. It's
Oh,
Steven.
yeah, this is Steven.
Steven
He's
with a
drippy.
V or a PH?
I named it Drippy.
Steven.
Stefan.
He's Drippy.
Whoa.
No, not Drippy. Drippy's his middle name.
Stefan Drippy.
Stephen Drippy.
Stephen Drippy.
His last name could be
Mr.
Mick Sanderson.
Whoa.
I think we should go with Adams.
Adams. Steven Adams.
Okay,
I like it.
that's kind of creepy.
Like the NBA basketball player.
Oh, okay, that's what you're talking about?
I don't know. I just came up with a basic last name for them. So
Yeah, that's
NBA
pretty
player.
basic.
It's a really long intro.
Yes, it is. So, if you don't know, we have a couple of replacements. We have Steven Adams. This is Logan's replacement.
Oh.
He just died. So, so
Just forget him.
yeah, he's gonna lean here in between the tables, and we have a very special guest. Casey was not able to make it, so we have his replacement, our penguin Terry. If you don't know where Terry comes from, just watch this short video.
Bag up, Terry. Put in reverse, Terry. Put in reverse. Oh, Lord. Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Terry? Terry, what you doing?
Whoa, we've got some new segments coming for you. Let's take it on the sound booth.
So today for Sound Booth, we'll be talking about one of the songs we're playing as a band. It's a Skillet song. I feel like it's a fairly popular Skillet song, right?
Yeah.
Anchor. It's a song.
It's a great song.
It is. I really like it. It's one of Skillet's slower songs, which is.
It's easier to play.
It is easy to play.
That's true. It's a straight slap in the face when the sheet music says absolute beginner.
Oh, it really is. Like you look like it says difficulty says absolute beginner.
Well, I am an absolute beginner for the bass, and that's more like beginner than absolute beginner. So it was a little tough.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyways,
yeah.
So for y'all, what are y'all's opinions on why y'all like the song so much?
I mean, I like it just because, it's God is our anchor. He's going to steady us through our strongest storms, through our roughest parts of life. And you just have to remember, He's always there. He will be there when, other people aren't. Mm-hmm. And He will be there to steady you and to mature you in your faith through that.
That's a good reminder.
That is. How about you?
Well, it's a lot like you said. God is the anchor, and He's there to He's there to calm you down. Like you're not alone and stuff. God is always there.
Yep. God is bigger than the boogeyman.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's also bigger than Godzilla and the monsters on TV.
Oh my gosh.
A big thing for me is like a big way I express my faith and I guess just go through my feelings is through music. And when music like that has a spiritual application, it just makes it so much more meaningful.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like the song so much. Not only do I like the rhythm, the beat, but I also like the message it has behind it.
And for me, I just like it's just a really good reminder, because sometimes you forget that God's the anchor of your life, and so when you hear the song, it'll remind you that God's supposed to be the anchor of your life.
Yeah, I mean, there's one lyric in one part of the lyrics in the song. It says, "You are my anchor, so steady me now." And you just kind of think, God is your anchor. He's gonna protect you through everything, but you have to engage that. You have to allow Him to take over. You have to allow Him to steady you.
Yeah.
It's like you can say that all you want, but if you don't truly believe that He is gonna steady you, then it's not going to affect you like it should. Yep.
It's a fair point.
Yep. It's a really good song. I've listened to it since pretty much came out, and like maybe a couple months later I heard it, and I was like, dang, this song is great. And I was like, I listened to it a little bit, and I was like, okay, I like the lyrics, but it wasn't until I really started maturing in my faith until I realized, like, you know, what these lyrics mean.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard sometimes when you're like, you think you're mature in your faith, but actually you're not as mature as you think. You're just still an infant in your faith. Yeah.
I think a big thing a lot of Christians don't realize is the importance of what you take in, and just like, whether it's music, videos, TV shows, like, I think I've been convicted of is like, what am I putting in to my ears? You know, what am I listening to? What am I watching? So just listen to these songs, especially Anchor, like, it's helped me a lot through kind of purifying what I consume.
Yeah, and something I thought about the other day is like, we were reading over it at church a while back. Like, you will see them by their fruits, and you know the fruits are going to be different whether they're healthy or not, depending on what you use to grow the tree, grow the faith. I mean, you are not gonna just be listening to, I mean, the worst possible rap that like has a curse word every 2 seconds or something like that, and have
less than 2 seconds.
Yeah, probably less, and you know, and still have that faith that you know, people will see, and that in your actions, and you know, be like, man, I can tell he's a Christian. You know, you can't really tell that when the fruits are not healthy and fertilized like they should be.
And I think we're very desensitized to that in today's culture, just with social media in general. I feel like for me, like, I got at such a young age, and I was exposed to a lot of things that, like, I was at the point where I wasn't mature with my faith to see what was wrong with what I was consuming. You know, led me to falling back more than I should.
Mm-hmm. It's so easy too. I mean, it's like when you're not mature in your faith, like as much as you really want to be, it's so easy just to be like, okay, I mean, what's bad about this? You know, and it's hard to see until you really understand more about Scripture, more about what God is trying to make of your life. You know.
Something funny over here, Dylan?
No, I just can't keep coughing.
You can't keep, or you can't say?
Can't keep from coughing.
Gotcha. Look, happens to this.
Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged.
Coughing is natural. Everyone does it. The people who are watching this video are coughing right now.
Good point.
I disagree.
Bless you.
Anthony looked at me and started laughing.
I did not start laughing. I heard.
No, wait, that's not. I coughed. I went and sneezed.
Oh, okay.
That was.
Then Anthony looked at me and started like laughing at me.
Yeah.
We have gotten off track.
Okay.
So did our camera.
Okay.
As our pastor would say, where were we?
Look, mistakes were made.
Are we gonna have to keep doing that every 10 minutes?
Huh?
We're gonna have to keep doing that every 10 minutes.
Yeah, we should.
So for Soundcheck, is that it? Is that it for the section?
Pretty much. You know.
All right. What's our next segment?
Terry's creation. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
A child of wrath I walked, condemned in darkness.
Crushing it.
Mercy brought me life, and in your loving kindness raised me up with Christ and made me righteous.
1, go.
You have brought me back with the riches of your amazing grace and relentless love. Made alive forever with you, life forever. By your grace I'm saved.
Might be beat. Oh my god.
we're in Daniel chapter 7, verses 9 through 14. In this scripture is where we found the name Everlasting Dominion. Yeah, peep the shirt.
Order it too.
Almost.
Anyways, I'll be reading the verses. My translation for today is Holman Christian Standard Bible.
We'll be reading
Bible.
approximately 60 words a minute.
I don't know all that. Me personally, I'm an ESV type of dude, but you know. As I kept watching, thrones were set in place, and the Ancient of Days took a seat. His clothing was white like snow, his hair of his head like white as wool. His throne was flaming fire, its wheels were blazing fire. A river of fire was flowing, coming out from his presence. Thousands upon thousands served him, 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court was convened, and the books were opened. I watched then, because of the sound of the arrogant words the horn were speaking. As I continued watching, the beast was killed, and its body destroyed and given over to the burning fire. To the rest of the beasts, their authority to the rule was removed, but an extension of life was granted to them for a certain period of time. I continued watching in the night visions, and I saw one like a son of man coming with the clouds of heaven. He approached the Ancient of Days and was escorted before him. He was given authority to rule and glory and a kingdom so that those of every people, nation, and language should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion that will not pass away, and his kingdom is one that will not be destroyed.
Yep.
For a bit of context here, Daniel is having a vision of 4 beasts. So in the first verses that we didn't read out, 1 through 8, he's describing all the beasts. And then suddenly the Ancient of Days shows up, and then the Son of Man shows up, and they take rule and authority. So, does anyone want to unpack what they got from this?
I mean, yeah, I think like a lot of times Jesus was stated as, the Son of Man in the Bible, and like when you name him as King, he was King, but he, Lord of Lords, King of Kings, but he wasn't just King for a certain time, like earthly kings. Like, they may be, king for a few years, they could be king for a long time, but eventually they would die and not be king anymore. But his dominion was an everlasting dominion, meaning it is forever and eternal. Basically his kingship is forever, never going to end, even past what a lot of people think is the end of time. It's still going to be everlasting. It's going to keep going. It's not going to stop. So.
A bit more context here. When it talks about the Ancient of Days, it is referring to God's eternal nature. That was something that kind of confused me at first, because I was like, Ancient of Days and the Son of God. But yes, that's just talking about God's eternal nature, and then it's talking about Jesus.
What stood out to me in this passage was the end of verse 14, and his dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom the one which shall not be destroyed. It's just, to me, it just kind of telling us that his kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and no matter what anybody does, it can't be destroyed. So like, you can't destroy it no matter what you say or do. In the end, he's going to win, and his kingdom is going to be the last one standing.
Yeah.
I think something that is interesting in this verses, so the horns are talking about nations and empires. When you see all these horns like being destroyed and some let them live, you see how one's destroyed. It's talking about how an empire or a nation has been eradicated or gone away, but some are let live. Like there's some on Holy Nations today that are still there. I think a lot of times people treat God as someone to go to when it's convenient, and they don't really fear Him. But in verse 11, when it's talking about the beast was killed and the body destroyed and given into the burning fire, I think that shows like as graceful and merciful as God is, there's still judgment, and that we should have a holy fear of Him.
Yeah, and something I was just reading here, I was going to give a little more confirmation about this. As I said, the Son of Man is typically viewed as Jesus himself. I was reading in here in the study Bible, and it says, one like the Son of Man has been interpreted in three primary ways: as an angel, a personification of the people of God, and the Messiah. The New Testament apostles and Christ himself confirmed the latter view, specifically that the Son of Man is Jesus of Nazareth. So I thought that was nice. It's always nice to know, that you're right. He ought to know, because, he confirmed it himself. Christ confirmed it himself, and just having that little extra background there I know it helps me understand it more, but like having that confirmation there helps.
Yeah, another thing about this is like, this is in the Old Testament. This is before Jesus is born, hundreds of years before that, and yet Daniel sees a vision prophesizing about Jesus's entrance into the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really love it when they prophesy that in the Old Testament, because it all builds up to the one moment whenever he was born, and then that builds up to the one moment whenever he dies.
Mm-hmm. Well, which we'll be talking about in the next episode, so looking out for that. Yeah, cool.
Sneak peek.
Yeah. But yeah, I've liked this verse, and I read it. There was one day we started the band, and I was just like, okay, let me open my Bible. Okay, here, what does it say? Let me read this verse. Everlasting Dominion. That sounds like a cool band name. And I just randomly picked something, like totally random out of the blue. And I don't know, about a year later, I was like, okay, we have established the name. And then our youth pastor, Casey, who Terry's filling in for, was talking about keeping scripture in context. I was like, oh, shoot. I totally forgot, I read this one verse, and I was like, oh, well, I have no context for this, I have really it has no meaning if you don't know the context. But reading over it, and really it's a comforting feeling knowing that what I read was actually what I thought it meant. It's like, his dominion is an everlasting dominion that will not pass away, and his kingdom one that shall not be destroyed. That means a lot. That's just a huge thing. When it's like, it's hard to explain sometimes, but like, if I can get my words out, lost my train of thought. That's awesome.
Everlasting dominion.
Yep. And but I mean, when you think his dominion's everlasting, it's hard to think as a human, as somebody that leans towards more of the knowledge side of things, to think that something can literally be eternal, fully everlasting. But to know that that's true, his kingdom will not pass away, and his kingdom is the one that will not be destroyed, is what it says here. To know that that is eternal, that he is going to be King of Kings, Lord of Lords forever. It's just something I really thought was cool, because, like I said, being a human, you think more of the knowledge side, like, oh, kings are one day going to stop ruling over that, kingdom. But this one is not. That's something I always thought was cool.
No beginning and no end.
Yeah, that's a really hard thing to think about, my mind wants to crack when I think of that sometimes, because, I always think, I'll take this for instance. This microphone right here had a beginning. It was made in a factory somewhere, you know, and it'll probably have an end one day. It'll stop working. It'll throw it away, you know.
That cord definitely has an end.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does. But I mean, there's a beginning and there's an end to something. But to think of God to have never had a beginning, never had an ending, I mean, like I said, my brain just wants to crack when I think of that. Because I mean, it's like mind blowing, cannot comprehend that because it's the only logical thing. Something has to have a beginning, you know?
Yeah.
It's just so mind blowing and confusing. So take that for what it's worth. Well, I'm enjoying this. I like doing Bible study, and I think this will be something fun we can do on all of our things.
Yeah,
you know, it'd be fun for us to do, and we get to learn more about Christ, more about Scripture, and do it as a group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think that's mostly what we had, unless somebody wants to add something. Anyway.
Like the end of the video?
No, it's just ending this segment.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Got anything to add to this?
No.
No. Well, I think my brain is tapped out.
I will add a disclaimer. We are not just biblical experts.
No.
Do not take this as
the real deal.
facts.
Okay.
This is our interpretation of the scriptures and what we got out of them. So everybody can have a different application and interpretation of the scripture.
Read the chapter yourself.
Yeah, if you get time and you want to go over, just look up Daniel 7, chapter 7, and the verse for the band is verse 14. But really, just go over that, read over Daniel chapter 7. You can get some more context of what we've been talking about. And so yeah, that's what I enjoy doing. Like, if somebody shows me a verse, I want to read the whole chapter, But yeah, so I think this was pretty successful,
Some might say.
Yeah. So we have yet another segment. This will be very interesting because we are starting up, like I said, a new segment, and it is called Taste It.
Taste
Taste it.
it.
Taste
Yeah.
it.
We are tasting it.
Oh, taste.
Taste it.
Tasting what?
Are we?
Yeah,
Is
yes.
what we'll be tasting.
We will be tasting store-bought chocolate chip cookies, no matter what brand they are. So it could be
Ooh.
Dollar General brand, or it could be
Are you blindfolded?
no.
So
That's the fun. That's the best part.
So we're gonna.
So-
Are you trying to figure out where it's from?
So we're just ranking
I
them
know what
in the
you-
best.
Oh, we're ranking them?
Yes, we're ranking.
Okay, ranking.
Are we all doing our own round?
yes.
Yeah. So
So-
I think a big thing about this is presentation
Yes.
is underrated. I'm a visual eater.
Mm.
Yeah. If it looks good, it tastes good.
That's
That is
Sometimes
that's very
true.
true.
no, sometimes true.
Sometimes true.
There's sometimes where I will get excited for a meal and then taste it and I'm like, what kind of malarkey is this?
Well,
I know, right?
actually, for me, it's more if it smells good, it tastes good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Yeah, like if it smells bad, I don't feel like eating it. And it kind of lowers the expectations.
Well, I went to KFC this afternoon for lunch. and
That's a mistake.
I know. We got the wraps, and I said, "What kind of doo doo did I just put in my mouth?" I mean, this stuff was not great. Mac and cheese and chicken. It was.
They do have good
Oh, whoa.
Oh my god.
You almost
I'm
died.
allergic to the word mac and cheese.
Yeah. Let's get to taste it.
We're going hard with a rock.
Here.
Do you have a napkin? Or did y'all?
Yeah,
took
there.
one?
What?
What if you dented the table?
That'd be great.
Where we going?
All right.
Okay, just before I eat this, there's there's not a lot of chocolate chips on there.
So this one here is
I
what
want
we
to
are.
see this.
I have.
So this one
Three.
here is what we are calling the worst.
That's what we're expecting.
This is Dollar Tree Little Dutch Made cookies.
It's pretty accurate.
It's like a weird. It
It
tastes
tastes
like
kind
vanilla
of
wafer.
stale.
It tastes closer to a sugar cookie.
Yeah.
It tastes really stale to me.
Not the worst cookie you've
That's
ever
Dollar
had.
Tree
though.
for you.
I can say it's not just terrible. It tastes like vanilla.
It has a decent taste to it.
It does. It tastes like a vanilla wafer or something
Yes.
like that with like
Vanilla.
a small
It tastes
amount
like
of
vanilla wafer.
So what are we expecting you to say?
which is like little droppings of chocolate. I mean,
All right. Next we can go for the great value.
If you were to place this one in your ranking right now, would you say it would be your? Would you still say it would be your least favorite?
Honestly, I don't know. That one wasn't that bad.
I mean, currently it's in first place because it's the only one we've ranked.
Yes.
This one's got the same cookie. It's got the little chunk in the middle.
I think
These
this one's
soft.
These are a little bit softer, a little more chocolate.
Yeah.
That one's look uncooked in the middle though.
Oh my god!
Well, I like chicken.
Imagine it was.
That's not.
Did we try it?
All right. Oh,
That's very interesting.
This one's worse.
I think this one's worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alexa,
Honestly, I might
stop.
say that one is worse because this
Yeah.
one. The first one is way more crunchier than this one. I like chewy cookies way more than crunchy.
I like sugary better, but this
Yeah.
one sucks.
It does not taste good.
This one's a little better.
So Aaron, you put this up first right now.
Okay.
I'll use two first.
So
Alright, so which one
I'm
was
gonna say second for me.
Anthony's calling this one here the third worst.
All right. Brookshire's brand. If you don't have a Brookshire's, I'm sorry.
They feel good.
Let's see what's the official brand on here. Is it
Craven.
Craven? Yeah.
Craving that.
These look a lot like Chips Ahoy.
They
Yes.
do. They do. Smells like them too.
Worst.
No worse.
Worst.
Aaron's just like, okay, I'm done.
That's not good.
I like these. I think these are the best so far.
I would say that. Yeah.
Aaron, yours is wrong.
So far, the dollar store ones are my favorite.
Wait.
The Dollar Store ones,
No, wait, no, not the dollar store ones. The second ones.
they're at least better than these.
The great value.
I'd say the. Oh wait, we tried the Great Value ones.
Yes.
But yeah, then the Great Value one's my
That was-
favorite so far.
That was
All right.
Yeah, the next these ones.
So I got
here.
Great Value
Oh,
first.
Ooh boy. Ooh.
These look good.
Oh goody. This one
I'm
had
not gonna say this one's gonna be my least
Oh
favorite.
no,
This-
these are so bad.
It's gonna be all chocolate chips in it.
this
I
one,
don't think it
look
look
bad.
bad.
they look like they took a dump on themselves.
Oh, okay.
They actually have too much chocolate chips.
These look amazing.
I mean, yeah. These are Dollar General Clover
These
Valley.
actually have
Oh.
these are.
These are so bad.
Oh.
Okay, they're really bad.
Those are my least favorite.
They're bad. They're not the worst.
I had really high hopes for this.
I don't really know how to explain
Actually,
this.
they're better than those.
Not that good.
I'm gonna say nah, bro.
So far, it goes Great Value, Dollar Tree.
These and then those.
Yes.
Yeah, my ranking right now, these are the worst.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
These are next.
And then these. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then these.
Did we try these already?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then these. Then these.
Yeah,
Why you
we're-
didn't like these?
That's how bad the rest of them are.
I don't know, man. I gotta try another one of these Cravens.
You ate the whole thing.
No, I don't. Just don't know. I just won't remember which one's which.
That's why you gotta be
It's the one with a
organized.
bunch of chocolate chips on the
Yeah.
bottom.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
me. I have a pop.
Okay, yeah. I think these Clover Valley.
I know. Look at that. If you can see that, that's.
I think these are my
Terry
favorites.
is
Oh my
so-
gosh.
Aaron is shivering in his
Your
boots.
favorite?
Yep.
So 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd for me right now.
Agreed.
Okay,
That's
so
how I
are we
put it.
ready to try
The Chips Ahoy name brand.
I really don't even feel like I have to try this to know where I rank it.
I know.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna like it.
These
Yeah.
are so small. Like,
Not compared to. They're
Well-
about the same size.
I mean, I'm just gonna throw that at you. Okay.
It definitely looks neater than the rest of them.
That's true.
These might just go in 4th place for me.
Second place.
I like the fact that I bit it and did like a perfect 90-degree angle.
Looks like a crescent moon.
It's like Pac-Man opening his mouth really wide.
It is. That's what
No,
it is.
these are gonna be
Pac-Man
third
is
place.
an overbite apparently.
But just because of how crumbly they are.
I think they
Yeah.
are. I think I'm going 3rd.
I mean, that's the thing. You think about it. You're driving down the road. And you have a pack of cookies. You don't want them spreading all over you. Just a bunch of crumbs everywhere.
So,
I mean,
My final rankings: 5th, 4th.
actually, there's third.
3rd,
mm,
2nd, 1st.
These are just two prominent.
These are amazing.
I've been doing it.
I don't care what y'all say about the presentation. These are good.
They have too much chocolate chips in them.
I love really rich
Actually,
stuff.
No,
For me-
the biggest fan of chocolate.
for me, I'm probably gonna say 5th, 6th. Wait.
6th.
Where did it say?
5th, 4th.
These are so much worse than that.
Yeah. I mean, they're
You're
kind of
just-
strange consistency. I will say that.
They are the least crumbliest cookies.
Yeah.
So,
So 5th, 4th. I'm gonna say the Cravens are probably 3rd, Chips Ahoy 2nd, and then Clover Valley probably 1st.
So these
Actually,
are almost
they're-
already in order for you.
I know.
well, like
Almost.
here's mine. I gotta get up because I'm too high. Let's see. These are least favorite.
That is wild.
What?
Let me eat another one in your
Wait,
face.
are these the? Yeah, these are least favorite. These are second least. Third.
How did that make your second
This
place?
is your second place.
That's my first place. So,
That's your
That's your
first
first
place.
place? No way.
Look at
What?
This cookie right here. Look at it.
Look, okay, look, here's my thing. I don't care much about taste. I don't care much about taste. It's about texture.
They're not even done in the middle.
Texture.
They're-
You don't
They
care
pack-
about taste.
They packaged uncooked cookies.
Okay, Dylan, you're
Yeah,
the-
man.
I wouldn't say they're uncooked.
Dude,
They're not.
look, you cannot tell me you don't see a little bit of dough in that middle.
It's made out of dough.
A wall of dough.
I mean,
They are the least crumbliest cookies.
they do. They have a weird consistency to me. It's like
I don't like
crunch on the outside.
uncooked stuff.
Go buy the Walmart off-brand cookies.
I mean,
Do not.
Well, like
no.
We will personally ship these to you.
no. Well, like preferably by Chewy Chips Ahoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
I think these Clover Valley beat the Chewy Chips Ahoy.
Dude, those are just quite flavorless.
yeah, agreed.
These are actually not as bad as I thought.
They're still not
Yeah.
good.
But they're not a chocolate chip cookie. They're basically a sugar cookie. Vanilla wafer. Sugar.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes like.
Vanilla wafers would be anything on this table, so they're not close
Yeah.
to vanilla wafer.
They all taste the same to me.
Are
It
they?
was all about how crunchy.
That's the stupidest thing I've heard all day.
Except for the Clover Valley, those weren't good.
Well,
Yeah. Aaron might as well say he can't tell the difference in cookies because he's just saying everything's last.
He doesn't have a taste. He shouldn't have an opinion.
I know. Just get it out of here.
It's all about how crumbly it is.
Get that weak stuff out of here, man.
here's what I'm done.
Look,
Well, when I bite into a cookie, I don't want it to go crunch. I want it
squish.
to squish.
None of these cookies squish.
These, I would say, have like a crunch and a weird doughy
Little crunch
chew.
of uncooked
Yeah.
cookie dough in the middle.
Yeah.
No,
Y'all just being dramatic at
no,
this point.
okay,
Well,
well,
I-
they're that's kind of like those homemade cookies you make when they're like really.
That is
around the
nothing.
edges.
If you compare these to homemade cookies,
No.
No, I mean like the texture and like how crunchy they are.
Nowhere near.
Like the homemade cookies that you make whenever they
You always burn them.
whenever they're
Yeah.
butter on the edges but doughy in the middle.
and when you use the wrong
Those are
recipe,
okay because those are just out of the oven uncooked.
Yeah.
Those ones have been packaged very much uncooked.
Look, just go and go get your grandmother's cookbook and go bake the chocolate chip or peanut butter cookies that they have in the book.
In the middle of the night, at like, or at, 1 a.m., you just go in there, steal the cookbook, make some cookies. Like, hey.
My parents might get mad at me if I do that. But cookies.
I think anything cooked is better than these cookies. You can't beat fresh baked cookies.
That's true.
A warm cookie.
Through the mic.
Mic drop. Is that the end of the video?
It is. Look, since Anthony left, we're doing the outro without him.
Well, here's
Whoa!
that's enough.
We're trying to do the outro, man.
Did y'all hear that?
Okay,
Yes.
look.
Anthony just blew up in there.
And here's a little mini Casey doing the mini dive right here.
Yes, right here.
Disclaimer: that was a bird, not a fart.
I honestly couldn't tell for a second. I was like, what was that?
No, I don't know.
Yeah,